This is fast-paced news, where the news moves fast, so we move faster. Monday, the Supreme Court overturned an injunction by the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California that aimed to deter ICE from being able to racially profile persons suspected of being in this country without documentation. Judge Kavanaugh's concurrent opinion overturning this injunction stated, quote, "Ethnicity alone cannot furnish reasonable suspicion. However, it can be a relevant factor when considered along with other salient factors." Functionally, ICE is now free to racially profile American citizens and undocumented folks alike, so long as they have one other factor. Maybe they looked at ICE funny or have a tattoo, and bam, you are being detained by the Gestapo. On Tuesday, Israel bombed Qatar, trying to kill the negotiation team from Hamas in Doha. While the negotiation team survived, there were several casualties from the approximately 10 fired missiles, and Israeli officials stated that Washington had given its, quote, full support for the attack. This was confirmed by the White House press secretary. Understand that this delegation was meeting for the latest U.S. ceasefire proposal. When negotiators are attacked with U.S. approval, we signal that we are not sincere in peace. At least we're finally starting to tell the truth. On Wednesday, right-wing political commentator Charlie Kirk was assassinated at Utah State University. The gruesome footage circulated quickly across the country. Charlie Kirk, notably throughout his career, spewed hateful rhetoric towards marginalized communities and notably stated,
I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
Despite the fact that his rhetoric made events like this more likely, not less, Kirk did not deserve to be gunned down like an animal. While this story has gripped the nation, a school shooting in Evergreen, Colorado, which happened at the exact same time, has largely failed to make a splash. In Brazil on Thursday, former President Jair Bolsonaro was sentenced to 27 years and 3 months in prison due to his role in plotting a military coup to keep him in power in January 2023. Many compared this attempted coup to January 6 here in the States. Understand that holding those who attempt to thwart democracy accountable is how a functioning society works. The U.S. has a recent history of pushing past atrocities under the rug. Lack of accountability for the war in Iraq, lack of accountability for Trump with January 6th, lack of accountability for the U.S. complicity in the genocide in Gaza. On Friday, the alleged killer of Charlie Kirk was turned into the FBI by his own father. While the motivation of the shooter are still being investigated, more and more information released to the public which suggests the killer held extreme right-wing beliefs. However, the administration had already committed to cracking down on the left due to this incident and shows no signs of revising their plan based on the actual facts of the situation. Sources in the description, comment on any stories I missed, and I'll give you my take. See you next week.